What is going on, you guys? This is your friendly neighborhood killer, Mr. Diabolic, presenting Mr. Diabolic Motion Productions. And today I am going to teach you on how to become better at your gaming skills, movement under fire, how to face a full party solo, and how to use spawn points as your advantage points. Also helps if you're dominating, as in meaning playing domination. Dominating a flag to your disposal helps you control spawn reactivity and spawn timing on when and where the enemy will be at on the particular part of the map, depending where your placement on the map is and your green allies. Before I continue on, you're probably asking yourself why I haven't uploaded any vids in the past weeks. Well, quick answer. I had to requalify for expert shooter for the Marine Corps. It's an annual event that proceeds on for 2 weeks. Blunt and to the point, pretty simple, not quite. I had to wake up as 03:30 just to make it in time to the range where the whole shebang was taking place, and also getting out late really didn't help my case when I was trying to make these videos for you guys. But don't get me wrong, doesn't mean I didn't play. I played, saved videos so I can post these videos for you guys. Also, kids fall into aspect and having to take care of them and whatnot, but there it is, there you have it, the reason behind the mystery. Pretty shady, I wouldn't say quite, but there's your answer. Now, let's keep going. How to become better at your gaming skills. I get asked a lot, how on earth are you gonna help me? Dude, you're a hacker. Are you a hacker? How do you get good? The answer to the whole monotony is practice. Learn the map like the back of your hand, pay attention to detail. You probably have heard that in your life at some point. Well, it was probably for a good reason. Use that to your advantage. Run a few custom matches against bots, look around and pay attention to the map instead of playing. Why I say that, you might ask? Well, it's pretty simple. Once your eye coordination and memory detailed faces remember how the map looks blank, it will search for all discrepancies in the map itself instead of searching for enemies. For example, a corner that is usually 90 degrees, right angle is now rounded. Guess what? Yeah, you guessed it. It's not supposed to be there. Shoot, I can guarantee you'll get a kill. Attention to detail. Remember that. Also, if a mini-map is up, it's a lot better. Why? Because it'll help you if they don't have cold-blooded. Pretty simple. Everybody knows that. Movement under fire. Now that one is tricky, but something that can be learned. Play the game for what it is. Even if it means having to fly through the whole map, double jumping, jetpacking, running on walls. Play it for what it is. If you're having problems as in failure to adapt to a game, well, you need more practice. Once you discover your own rhythm on jetpacking and running on walls, you will get more comfortable with moving swiftly and doing certain moves you wouldn't normally do, or learning how to run a map. Use high points to give you sort of a overwatch over the map. The higher you are, the better. This will take practice and time, but once you get the hang of adjusting to high elevations and the way it looks when you're wall running, the game will become much more simple. But common sense still applies. Don't wall run at a high point in the middle of the map where someone can come around a corner and just shoot you. No. Play the unexpected. Remember that. Now, this is where it gets good. How to face a full party solo and using spawns to your advantage. Now, that requires some skills, but can still be learned, because they were more likely to be in a party chat and are all communicating with one another. If you haven't noticed by now, in the video I'm facing a party of 5. I played several games against them and I was raping them, not literally but figuratively. They were getting really mad and talking a whole bunch of smack. Of course I didn't win, but I made sure their lives were living hells. They tried to make me go negative but ended up backing out in the process. This match, my final score was 65-27. Their whole party, all their players ranking with KD ratios of 2.5 and above. KD ratio means kill and death ratio if you didn't know. Back on point, they were really mad and rage quit. I was running solo, but you're probably wondering how I didn't go negative or how I went so positive. I used the spawns to my advantage and still played the objective. The only reason why we lost is we kept losing players. I couldn't be at all the flags at the same times, and I also ran the wrong score streaks. Remember, if you're playing by yourself in any game mode, or more specifically domination, you want to run score streaks like bombardment or trinity rockets to allow you to defend flags you're not close to. But for other game modes, you want to run score streaks that will watch your back, like vultures, you know, a warden, or man, I got a lot of wardens. Using spawns to your advantage is easy. Once again, attention to the detail. Look at where your team is and adjust from there. If your team is controlling a certain area, the spawns will commute to the original points from the beginning. If too many push too far into their spawn, you might just flip the spawns and they will be behind you, so then you will have to restart again. Reset your foundation. Once you set your foundation, try to stick with it. Also, if you eliminate an enemy, he is more likely to spawn a couple feet in front of you. The game will try to give the advantage back to the enemy for the last death, sort of like a boost. So that's the reason why they spawn him a couple feet in front of you. Pay attention. Now you know he's coming. But once you take him out again, he will spawn back to his lower spawn, which is the original spawn in the map, depending on where your team is. It's always good to run with a party, because you set your foundation much faster and actually defend it, and keep the spawns how you want them to react. Spawn reactivity is simple, where they will spawn. I've already explained a lot about this throughout the video if you were paying attention, so won't go too much in depth with this, but straight to the point. Now, how spawns work are where certain enemies will spawn depending on your team's control on the map. For example, in domination, if you control A flag and B flag in terminal and they occupy C flag, their only spawn reactivity will be at the lower section of the map on C flag, depending if your team isn't pushing too far into their spawn. That will create the spawns to flip and they will spawn in A flag, but that is for another video. So if your team isn't pushing too far, the game will continue to act accordingly and allowing the enemies to continue spawning at that lower section, which is C flag. That is, if you're playing in terminal. That's a quick example, quick and simple. That is the best I can give you. Fast and straight to the point. Spawn timing is simple. Just know when to push back so they can continue to spawn at the certain spawn where you have them trapped at, like a spawn trap. I will make a video with the crew to show you how that works, but I will have that for you guys also next time. But for spawn timing, it's the milliseconds the game issues to restart the player after death. So if the enemy dies, the game will give you a few milliseconds to reboot the player. So that gives you a milliseconds to push a lot further up. Milliseconds doesn't sound like much, but it can be used to your advantage. Once you figure out how to use spawn timing to your advantage, it's just a matter of tweaking a few moves and sets to keep the enemies at bay. Push up only as much as you need to keep the spawn fresh and having them spawn under your terms, not theirs, your advantage. So in this video, we concluded that I helped you guys work on spawn reactivity, spawn timing, the placement of the enemies at the certain placement of your team, and we covered other things. So I don't expect for you guys to pick up everything all at once. You might have to rewatch this video again to understand. Hey, I'm just here to try to help you guys out. That's what I'm here for. Once again, if you have questions, just message down below, comment down below, and be like, hey, Mr. Diabolic, can you help me out on how can I run free-for-all better, or how can I run team deathmatch better? That's what I'm here for, you guys, to make your guys' lives better. Once again, a lot of you, I know it's a lot to take in, so you're gonna struggle, might have to look at this once or twice, and a lot of you are gonna be like, why do I need to know this, and just gonna click out. But hey, if you want to get better, study, practice, the power to push on. That's what it is, and that's how you'll get better. But hey, this is Mr. Diabolic running a Mr. Diabolic's production. This is your friendly neighborhood killer. I'm out. Peace.